Season's greetings and happy holidays. My name is Ben and welcome back to the bench, guys, for a brand new episode of our 12 Sprues of Kit-mas holiday build series. Today is build day number 1. So we're going to go ahead and grab that random drawing box. We're going to punch on through the very first day. And fingers crossed, we get ourselves a nice kit to build. So let's go ahead and grab that box here, guys. My girlfriend has already gone through this and organized them in whatever order she wanted. We have 12 kits right beneath these little openings, and I don't know what we're going to get, but hopefully it's going to be fun. We're going to go ahead and start up here in the corner like last time, work our way across each of the rows down there into the bottom right-hand corner. So a little poke right here so I don't break the entire top of it. And let's go ahead and punch on through. Oh, this is always a nerve-wracking part right here, guys, but let's see what we're going to start off this whole build series with. Reach on down around in here. I left the labels bigger this time, so they should be easier to grab. There we are, and move this aside. And let's see what we have in store for us today. We have the 1/72nd scale Academy Avenger. Okay, all right, I wasn't expecting that, but this should be interesting. I don't think it's going to be a very great kit, but you know what? We're going to go ahead and open it up and find out. Now, I mentioned last episode this does have a stand, and then if I pulled this one, I would more than likely go ahead and build this with the stand and put it up next to my Wildcat from a previous year. So that's kind of my plan. Now we're going to go ahead and just kind of look through these parts here. I already can tell you there's not going to be hardly any detail on the cockpit, so I'm already anticipating going ahead and blacking out the inside so that you really can't see the missing detail. Otherwise, the plastic looks pretty good. We have some recessed panel lines. Some of them look a little on the deep side, but I don't think that's going to be all that terrible. So yeah, I think we're in for a very interesting little build. I'm hoping very easy as well because, oh boy, we have a lot of kits to build in a very short amount of time. So let's go ahead and not waste any more time, guys. Let's jump into our first time lapse. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the basic assembly of this aircraft. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and use that stand, tuck the wheels in, make sure we keep that propeller able to spin. We're going to go ahead and build up everything, then we'll prime, we'll pre-shade, and we'll paint it up with that 3-tone camo scheme. So let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. Let's get the party started. All right, everybody, so we are back, and as you can see, we have the Avenger in all of its colors. I went with a glossy white from the undersurface, then I went ahead and came in with a medium blue for the light blue color, and then a dark sea blue for the upper portions of the aircraft. So far, I'm not hating the kit. It went together decently. I was right, there were absolutely no details to look at all in the cockpit, so I just blacked those out, not a problem. I'm going to come back in here now though, we're going to start doing a little bit of touch-up paint here and there, because I want to go ahead and work towards getting the gloss coat on and getting the decal set and ready to go. I haven't really had too many issues. Fit has been nice. Pretty solid for a very old kit. I will say though that masking off the canopy was not easy to do. The framing was just so light and almost non-existent, at least from the outside looking in. It was very hard to go ahead and find where I should put my tape. And yeah, I know I blacked out the canopy and you're not going to see anything in there anyway, but you are going to have a nice glossy black finish for the inside. So I wanted to make sure to maintain that by masking off the different panels there, so we have that nice dark sea blue to go ahead and differentiate between each of the panels. I think it's going to work out just fine, but it's something to kind of be aware of if you end up picking up this kit. This is not a kit you pick up for any sort of great detail and for an amazing looking model. This is really honestly, like I'm doing here, just a real quick build, something on your desk, something on your bookshelf, just something neat to look at. Again, it's going to look fine at 3 feet, so I'm not too concerned about it. Let's go ahead and come on back in. We'll touch up some of the other areas like the wheels. We've already painted the guns. Let's get those wheels painted up, and then we'll move on to the front cowling as well. Now I did make, I think, one error here. I should have left a little square for dark sea blue for that front number. I didn't do that, and I'm not really willing to go back and mask it off, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to come back in though, however, and paint up the front crankcase, I believe it is, with just some nice sky gray, just to kind of give it a little bit of punch. Also, I need to come in and do a little bit of work on the propeller as well to make sure that that actually works. I want it to be able to spin, just like my Wildcat, so again, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I keep that actually movable. A while back, I had a subscriber mention that when they paint propeller blades and they need that yellow tip on each of the blades, they actually just dip into the propeller blades into the paint. So I actually tried that on this model and it worked like a charm. This is such a small kit, I didn't want to waste a bunch of time masking off everything and then priming and painting. So I literally just dunked each of the tips of the propellers into yellow paint, and that worked out perfectly. So that's kind of a good tip to keep in mind for future builds, and it looks pretty good, so I'm happy with it. Now let's go ahead and glue in that front cowling right there with the propeller able to spin, so that's really cool. And I think we're going to move into our second time lapse. I want to start off with some gloss coat, and then I want to come in with our decals once that is dried. And once all the decals are nice and cured, we're going to come in with a top coat again of gloss, and then we'll weather everything down with some AK panel liners as some sludge washes. So let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. I'm really excited to see how this looks with the decals on. There's not too many of them. Honestly, there's only a handful of decals, so that's going to be great. Let's go ahead and get this going, guys. Get some weathering done, top it off with a flat coat, and let's see how we do. Let's do it. All right, everybody, we are back and we have finished the very first day of building here for 12 Sprues of Kit-mas. The Avenger is finished. And I have to say, basically, this was a fine kit. It's a great place to start out here for the amount of building we have to do. Let me go ahead and show you how it turned out. As you can see, nothing fancy. The parts fit decently enough. We had it in aerial. We have the propeller able to be, spinning around if I get some air current in there. So that's kind of fun and that's kind of neat. We've got it on the stand so we can set it up on my windowsill so we can have it next to the Wildcat. So yeah, I'm actually very happy with how this has turned out. Again, the canopy wasn't necessarily great to go ahead and mask, and the rear gun position also not the best. But the stand works, it fits in there, the propeller spins, the paint is okay. I like the pre-shade that I did. I used a little bit of that AK panel liners as some sludge washes. I used that stone wash on the top, the winter wash camo version for the bottom of that. So I think it has a nice, somewhat dingy look. I didn't want it overly used and abused. So this is looking okay. Again, the glass, especially on the lower gun emplacement, didn't have any of the ribbing really that pronounced. So it was very difficult to go ahead and mask this thing off. The decals did silver a little bit, but I did end up using very hot water, and that actually did work. So another subscriber mentioned that I should try that with Academy decals, and I'm happy to say that it did help a little bit. Still silvered slightly, but better than it was before. So honestly, it's okay. It's a good little model kit. It's nothing fancy. It's not something that you make to enter into a contest. This is just for fun, and I'm going to toss it on my desk, and it will sit right next to my Wildcat, and people can walk by and go, hey, cool, look, an Avenger. That's it. Very simple, very quick build. I think in total, this took me about almost 7 hours to do. So I'm actually looking decent for build day number 2. So we're gonna go ahead and put this aside. I'm gonna get right onto the bench immediately after this. We're gonna continue working on day number 2. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Until our next episode, you know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back here on build day number 2 for the 12 Sprues of Kit-mas here on Ben Builds. Take care, happy holidays, we'll see you soon.